First-Time Lesbian Sex. Written by Connor Hayden. Narrated by TK Love. The divorce hit Janet hard, and becoming used to life on her own after so many years of marriage was difficult. She tried to get on with things as best she could, making her way into work each day, but not having someone around in the evening hours was hard to take at first and made her feel a little lonely. As the months passed, though, she became more used to her new lifestyle and began to regain her confidence. She even began to think about moving on to someone else, but when her desire was finally stirred, the object of her affections came as a surprise to her. When the family had moved in next door to her, Janet at first thought it was only a couple. In their mid-40s, they were around the same age as her and seemed friendly. She talked to them a few times, even went over to their home one evening for a glass of wine, and she began to wonder if they might have any single male friends who she might get the chance to meet. A couple of weeks after the couple moved in, their daughter arrived, and the first time Janet saw a 19-year-old girl was an awakening. She never really felt any sexual feelings toward another woman before and was surprised just how strong they came the first time she saw Sarah. The cute girl had short blonde hair and green eyes and seemed to like dressing to tease. Her low-cut tops typically showed smooth skin and sexy cleavage, the large breasts coming dangerously close to spilling out. The skirts were usually short enough to almost put panties on view, and the long legs seemed to go on forever. Janet's fantasy about the teenage girl began the very night she had caught sight of her for the first time. As she lay in bed, she could feel the heat between her thighs growing. She slid her fingers under her nightdress and could feel the wetness on her panties, her pulse beginning to race as she stroked fingers onto the silky material. Janet felt a little weird that the object of her fantasies was a teenage girl, but there was no denying how turned on she was becoming. As her fingers traced up and down the outline of her pussy lips, she felt a shiver along her spine. The sensation was nice, and she gave up worrying about the fact that she was fantasizing about playing with pussy and just enjoyed the experience. As her fingers stroked harder between her thighs, the panties began to be an annoyance, and she lifted her hips from the bed to drag them down her legs and out of the way. Her breath rushed out at the touch of her fingers stroking onto the naked skin. Janet pushed a little more forcefully and shivered at the feeling of her pussy opening up, stroking her fingertips just inside and working them around on the silky skin. In the months since her divorce, she had forgotten just how good a touch inside her pussy was, but it came back to her in a rush as she forced her fingers in. She held them deep, clenching herself around the penetration and feeling how wet she was becoming. As she eased the grip of her pussy, Janet began to finger-fuck herself, closing her eyes and imagining that it was Sarah's fingers using her. Her body shuddered as it moved closer to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?